What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 152 of Fresh Off the Mats with the Jiu-Jitsu Joes. Oh.
Nah, this is crazy, actually.
What?
This Palm Angels thing.
Dude, that's crazy. I would never spend that amount of money on clothing. That's fucking nuts. I don't care.
Bro, a pair of socks
Bro,
for $100.
I don't care. And maybe this is just because I'm not in a position. Even if I was wealthy.
No, even if I'm in that position, I'm not spending $400.
I can't justify it, bro.
A beanie, $245. Mind you guys, this
For
is
a
on sale.
beanie.
This is 30% off.
But it's
original cost is $350.
It's a gray beanie with a little logo in the front.
For you guys, yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll get a nice little up close. Look at this.
Insane.
For this beanie, just, I don't care, bro.
And what is the thrill behind it? Is just so when you're out and about, somebody
people
goes,
could be like, look, he wears Palm Angels.
But here's the thing. I didn't even know about the brand until he brought it up just
Which means
now.
if anyone walked in with
Did you know about this brand?
Never heard of it.
I never heard of this brand before.
He said it's an LA thing. That's why. It's just fucking, look at this, bro.
But
fucking
how
jacket,
do you justify it? How do you justify it? Just how?
A hoodie, fucking on sale, $555 fucking dollars, dude.
That's nuts to me. That's nuts.
Man.
I don't know. Must be nice to have money burning a hole in your pocket all the time.
Seriously, to be at that point, man, like, and even then, like, one of the best things I saw on Reddit, he was like, you want to know what I did when I got he was like, actually rich, meaning I don't have to work. I work because I literally enjoy it. He was just like, and even then I work about 20 hours a week. He's like, I am rich. And it was a whole Reddit thing. And so he goes, first thing I started doing, and I realized was a good thing, was tailoring all my clothes. He's like, so I buy stuff from like Target, but I get it tailored. So now it fits me perfect. He's like, so all my clothes look good. He's like, so when people see me, I always look good. And it's not because I buy designer. It's because I get everything to fit me. He's like, that's one of the things that you don't think about when you get money. I was like, that's actually, if I had that type, yeah, I'll get my whole closet tailored to me and just always feel good.
I think when people buy crazy shit like that, where they're like $300 a hat, $500 for a t-shirt, I think it's, you just want people to know that you have money, but you probably don't even have money. Like, you know what I mean? You just want to make it
I don't think you were ever broke.
Huh?
I don't think you were ever truly broke. Like
I because I
don't see myself ever doing that. To me, it doesn't make sense
because when I see like these millionaires, of course, when they go to fancy events, they wear nice suits, but their everyday attire looks normal.
One of the guys, so Andy Frisella, he runs First Form, and he's very upfront about how his lifestyle is, and I appreciate that because it kind of gives you that aspect to see into that life. But one of the things he says, he was just like, he'll never forget. This is when his company was but when he first was like, I'm making millions consistently.
Yeah.
He's like, and I showed up to a dinner place and I had a t-shirt on, jeans, and some Converse. And he's like, these guys were laughing at me from the other table. He's like, I heard them. And he's like, I overheard them talking about like my outfit or anything, not realizing that the table that I'm at, probably his net worth was within the billions.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that whole table was all just relaxed.
Bro,
he's like, we're not trying to show out for anyone unless it's at an event, like you said.
I think it's the most, I think it's the most fake shit in the world because you see it all the time. You see these guys who like live in apartment complexes. They're barely getting by on their bills, but they drive a brand new BMW and they have designer clothes. And it's the guy who's wearing like Gucci shirts and Gucci shoes and all this stuff. But bro, they're not wealthy. No. Like, you know what I mean? They're trying to show the image that when they go out into the world, they present as wealthy.
Keeping up with the Joneses. That's the term for that.
But why do this? I don't understand. At my brokest and at my most wealthiest, I've never had this inclination to want to show the world that I was made of money, whether I had it or didn't have it. I never had this feeling of like, oh, I want to go into a store and somebody to be like, look at that $500 shirt he has. I've never had this feeling. I don't know what that is.
As a teenager, I will say I did have that. Like,
I think as a teenager, you understand, but I think when you grow up, when you're 17, 18 years old, you start to mature and you're like, oh, I'm being a clown right now.
Yeah, no. Once I got
when I see a 15-year-old with a gold chain, I'm like, all right, you're just being a clown.
For what? Like, what do you have that for?
Yeah, I did it. I did when I was like younger and stuff.
That's what I mean. As a teen, it makes sense. But when you get into your 20s and 30s, it's like, hey, man.
You don't got to do that. Like, who are you flexing for?
Especially like when you're in the same circle as other people that aren't that wealthy. You know what I mean? Like, you're flexing among the broke. Yeah. Like, not saying like everyone's poor or anything, but
jiu-jitsu competitions. Yeah. When I see somebody with like Versace flip-flops or Gucci flip-flop, And I'm just like, we're at a jiu-jitsu competition, bro.
Like,
that's where you want to prove the moment to walk around and
I got
flex?
money, especially
Who
like.
cares, bro? Does it make your game any better? No, it doesn't. You
What was
suck.
that company that Gordon was with?
Toehold?
Toehold. Yeah.
Bro, their flip-flops were egregious. Weren't they like $300 at the start?
Premium leather. Shut up.
And I'm like, and the whole thing was lifetime, right?
This goddamn thing.
I don't know,
bro.
man.
I'll stick with my Olukais.
Yeah.
Olukais are nice too. I don't give a shit. I like my Olukais. They're all nice. Gives them good arch
They're
support.
comfortable.
Yeah.
They're not crazy.
And they're not $300 to $400. Some of those motherfuckers sandals would go for $700-800.
Sunglasses. I know, me personally, I'm notorious for sitting on my sunglasses and breaking them. That's why, bro, when TikTok had that sale on like the red, blue, and the black ones for like $8, you get 3 of them. I was like, sign me up.
Yep.
Sign me up. They're regular all black.
That's where I'm at now. Like right now, I always wear an Apple Watch. I'm not out here trying now. If I wanted a Rolex at one point, maybe, but even then, now I don't see myself ever wanting it because I like the practicality I have outside of the look. But you know what I did? I bought a band that looks better. Like it's like the stainless steel, silver. Like why do I need to get like a platinum watch band when I can just make my watch look better by something that think cost me like $20?
I can't shit on people's things though because like. I get it. If your lane is watches, like maybe the way I like to collect magic cards, you like to collect watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. There are people in the world who like, I get a joy out of collecting
when it's that one thing. But it's like when people make their whole lifestyle. That's
the whole lifestyle. It's like,
bro, really?
And they're struggling in other aspects. Like if you have a watch collection, but like you're barely getting by in life, it's like, what are you doing?
Sell your watches.
What are you doing?
Stop.
What are you doing?
Now's not the time to get your watch. But that's what I mean. I don't judge a billionaire when they do it because they have the funds. They got the time. Because $1 billion, I don't think we could spend money because because think about just your investment. If you put that in and you get 5% back off of $1 billion, like you're good luck spending that 5% fast enough.
I don't understand people who are like they have $10 million and they're like it's not enough. I'm like, you don't know how to make money. You don't know how to make your money make money.
I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I really don't get it. You're telling me that you have $10 million. You can't buy a complex for $5 million that nets you $20,000 a month. Okay, you put $10,000 into a savings, and the other $10,000 is you're spending money for the month. You are broke spending $10,000 a month.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How's that possible?
I see. So like I'm on a Dave Ramsey page, and so I get to see like sides of like people who are literally just down and out. Like they are struggling.
The Caleb Hammer people.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. But then I see on the other side these people that come and talk to me, like on Caleb Hammer. Where these people will be like, oh yeah, I'm making like $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 a month. And they're like, I can't figure out how to live. I'm like, bitch, how could you not figure out what to do, dude? Like, how, bro?
I just think people don't know how to live in their means and they start to spend monthly above their means. And I think like they get accustomed
in my early 20s. I did that in my early 20s.
Yeah, but the thing is, bro, if you have a really good job and you're used to spending $5,000 a month, right? And let's say you lose your job and you got to humble yourself, and now your spending limit is only $3,000 a month. But you're so used to $5,000, like you're so used to
doing it,
and you just keep doing it, and it's like it drives you crazy. It's like, bro, you got to take a step back.
That's what I had to do. I had to learn. I was like, well,
everybody had to do it. I had to do it.
I can't just go out and spend money now. Like I have to say no to everything.
There was a time period in my life where my staple meal for multiple meals a day was whole wheat bread and peanut butter. Because it wasn't the most egregious thing.
With ramen, bro. I would do ramen.
No, I never ate ramen. No, I hated ramen.
I was ramen.
I spent another $2 and I got myself a whole thing of whole wheat bread and peanut butter, and that would last me like a week.
No.
And I just eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bro.
I was ramen with peanut butter sandwiches, and then I would get eggs and pasta.
Yeah.
That was like my go-to.
Yeah.
And that was all I would ever fucking
But the problem is nobody wants to realize that that's an okay moment in life. We're like, bro, I got to do this.
I'm just working.
I got to do this.
I'm working, bro. Like I'm a struggle and I'm a work.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know, man.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like
is the thief
that's
of
why
joy.
I feel like people, it's the same thing as lotto winners. That's what I'm saying. Like when people buy stuff like that, I don't think they were ever truly broke because the same thing as like a lotto winner who was broke. I'm not saying that they weren't, but then they all of a sudden got millions. They don't know what to do with that. They just spend it. It's the same thing with these people. I think these are mainly people who just got money. Yeah. They didn't have to be like, oh, okay, I had to work my way to where I'm earning this type of lifestyle. You know, I feel like
if you've ever struggled in life, you appreciate it 10 times more.
Yeah, you learn. You're like, oh, well, I actually don't need this. I have my hobbies. I have what I spend my money on. And then everything else I can kind of just make fit. Okay, like you said, some guys might be like, no, when it comes to my jewelry, I go all out on my jewelry.
Yeah.
But when it comes to their clothes, they're like, yeah, I don't buy designer, but my jewelry is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
But other guys might be like, no, I buy designer clothes, but my car is like a 2010 Toyota fucking Corolla, right? And they don't care about that. You know what I mean?
I get it, but then my whole thing is like, bro, until like the basics are covered, like I don't think you should spend into your house. Like until like you live in a good place and you drive a reliable car, like I don't think you should spend an absurd amount of money on clothes or jewelry if you drive a piece of shit car, because that car is the means of how you obtain that money to buy those things. So I think like after your home, after where you live, your mode of transportation or vehicle should be the next most reliable thing in your life. Once those are covered and you're eating like food, shelter, and your vehicle, after that, then you should be allowed to spend.
Even Dave Ramsey goes over that one. He calls it like your four, what is it, the 4 pillars. It's food, utilities, housing.
I cover utilities into housing.
And then so it might be, I'm trying to remember what the 4 pillars are, but it's something like that. And it's that same exact concept. The car isn't included on there because then he says like public transport, find a cheap, reliable car. Which I get,
but if you live in Florida, like,
that's
good
the
luck.
thing. It depends on where you're
take
at.
a bus everywhere with designer clothes. Like that's silly.
That's also where it matters, like where your location is. And
if you're in New York City, is different.
Yes.
Yeah, you could get by without ever having a car.
But that's what I think. Like, but again, when I take his advice, I take it and adapt it to my lifestyle. Like when I had to figure out the math on my car, because my other car that I had before this one, in 4 months I had to drop I think like $3,000 onto it, and I was like $3,000 could have paid for my what's it called,
down payment?
Not the down payment. It would have been my down payment, and it also would have just been like covering months, almost a whole year worth of a car payment.
Oh,
but in 2 to 3 months, I spent $3,000 on this. And I was like, and all it's going to do is keep racking up because it's going to keep getting worse. Yeah. So I was like, to me, because in their eyes, he's like, never take out a car loan, just pay for the car cash. I was like, this car loan is not better for me.
But that's also not practical for everybody.
Yes,
not everybody has $20K to just drop on a car.
Well, it's because he doesn't say spend $20K. His whole thing is like, go find that hoopty, spend fucking $3,000 to $5,000 at best, and get that car, and then just keep recycling. And that's where I don't like it, because I'm like,
I don't like
the non-reliable
stress every couple of months, because every 6 months you're dealing with the tires and then this and then that. It's like,
no, I like a reliable car. This car, all I have to ever do is get oil changes at $250. The biggest money I've had to spend is like recently, where I had to drop like $1,500. But mind you, it was time for new tires anyway. Yeah. It's been fucking 4 years since I've had new tires on. So I got the new tires, had to get my brakes done. And then there was something else I had to get fixed. So
basic maintenance stuff is not what I factor into those things. Like,
now I budget for it. I have like a little car budget every few months. I have to make sure I go into it for like oil changes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, I take his ideas
and mold it
to what fits.
But that's every piece of advice, because bro, people only talk from their experience, and just because it worked for you doesn't mean it's going to work for another person. You have to take everything and just be like, how does this tailor fit to what I'm doing? And you have to be non-biased about it, because sometimes people try to tailor fit to what they're doing, but it's not realistic. They're like, oh, this is within my budget. And it's like, no, it's really not. Like, you got to be really honest with yourself. People are not always very honest with themselves.
It's like that one guy we talked about a while ago. It's a podcast I listened to back in like 2018. I want to say 2018, 2019. And he was talking about how when he was coming up, he still applies this to this day. He will only spend when he has 10 times the amount for that thing, which we talked about it, where you're like, yeah, that's a little unrealistic, but that's what drove him. It worked for him. Yeah. He was also in that situation where he was working in real estate. He was also working a sales job. So like his commission was good. He was like, I was making good money. He was like, did I have a lot of fallback? Yeah. He's like, and did it suck when I wanted to spend $400 on like an Xbox, but I had to save $4,000? He was like, that sucked. But he goes, you know, it was nice. I saw that.
But aren't certain aspects of that extreme? Because let's say you want to get a house, right? Nope, you have to be able to purchase 10 houses before you could buy one. That's a little extreme.
No, so that's what I mean.
Because if you could afford 3 to 4 houses,
you can make all that money.
You could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, hon, I know we could afford 4 houses right now, but we got to wait till we could afford 10 before we could buy. 10. I mean, like,
because that's where he hit it. He named it off of a car. And so Andy called him out on it, because he was like, that car is like a $400,000 car. He goes, yeah. And until I had about $4 million, I couldn't do it. And he was just like, and so, but his idea was, he goes,
frivolous things I understand.
But like, so that's why he said it, because he goes, what people didn't understand is the tires are going to cost me 6 figures just to replace.
I
Which
understand.
I didn't know that. I had no clue
listen,
about that.
I get all that, but I think on certain things, like, bro, you gotta let you cannot hold your morals to like this high standard like that. Dad, I want to get an Xbox. You really gonna say to your son no until you could afford 10 of them? Like, yeah, sorry, not this Christmas. Next Christmas, you get nothing this. I mean, like.
But that's also why guys like that, I would say, they do become part of this 1%, though, because they do hold this crazy high standard. That's not well. It is. That's why it's the 1%. It's at a very extreme standard.
But I don't think it's a good way to. I mean, I'm not judging, but I also, for me personally, I'm not going to live. I'm not going to say to the boys, "Hey, we're not getting an Xbox this year because I can't afford 10 of them."
All at once. But that's what I mean. Like, that's your standard, and that was his standard, and that's what I mean. Everyone needs to find a good standard. But if you, the message to hear in that, because I adapted that same message, but I look at it as like, if I can afford it 3 times, that's realistic.
Yeah.
If I can buy something 3 different times, I feel good about myself because now I know I'm not going to just put myself in a hole because of it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I mean. When I first heard him say that, I didn't think, oh, I need to save up 10 times. Now, did I try it? 100%. There was like a few things I was like, let me try set 10 times. It was nice because having all that excess money, I was like, look at that. I did it.
No,
but
great.
The nice part was like, when I adapted it to me, I was like, oh, let me just save 3 to 4 times that amount. Yeah. And so like, when I do go
3 to 4 sounds more reasonable.
Yeah.
10 times is like, all right.
Just because you got to think in anything, like a cruise. If you
I can't have a coffee until I could buy 10 of them at one time. Until I could spend $80 on coffee. I can't buy a $4 coffee.
It's pretty fair though, if you think about it.
Oh, come on, bro.
Well, if you get coffee every week or something like that, you have $80 saved up.
Dude, when I'm going up to the register at Starbucks and getting me and Danielle's coffee every Sunday, I'm not thinking in my head, can I afford 20 of these? I just know if a gun to my head, I had to buy 20 of them, I could buy 20
That means you're at a standard to do so, Joe.
I understand, but this is not what you have to reiterate to yourself on a daily basis. Every time you pull out your wallet, you have to think to yourself, can I do this?
That whole aspect is that when you get to that point, then that's what makes you so much better. Is that, okay, in the beginning, maybe it will be coffee. Oh, then all of a sudden, it's like, let me buy my console.
I'm just saying I don't do the math in my head where I'm like, oh, I only have 8 times. I don't have 10 times. And like, I cannot. Like, come on. Let's be a little normal here too. People don't live their lives.
Well, it wasn't advice for the general population. He was saying what he does for himself.
Yes,
that was it.
But the problem is there's going to be guys who are like, he does it, so I have to do. I'm like, that's not how life works.
I mean, shit. If
there are people out there who like, they use their credit cards for good. And there are people out there who use their credit cards for stupid things.
I was stupid.
I'm
better now, but I was so stupid with my credit
card. We were all stupid back then. They prey on the fact that you're 17, 18. They give you a college card with a high interest and they fuck you. So you put $2,000 on this credit card, but it ends up costing you $8,000 after like the first 10 years.
My first credit card.
I used my credit cards to purchase properties. So paying off that debt every month, I'm like, yeah, I'm in debt. I'm paying it off. But I have a property, like I have cash flow every month because of it. And you have to say that's worth it. You don't go and buy an Xbox that depreciates and in 10 years it's worth $2.
My first credit card, I got $18,000 because it was out of the Marine Corps. It was boot camp. And so I was like,
$18,000?
$18,000 as a limit. I was like, mind you, I just turned 21. I've never had a credit card before. So I was like, oh my God, I have money. And so, right, I didn't know.
You have the opportunity to owe other people money.
That I didn't understand. I called my mom right away. I was like, Ma, I got approved for $18,000. This is awesome. She goes, lower that limit right away, which was stupid because here's another thing. You never lower limit. Didn't fucking know that because that's you just telling the bank, hey, man, I suck with money. Don't give me that much. Didn't know that. It tanked my credit score, bro, because I told them and they were like, sir, we'll do that for you. What do you want? I was like, oh, let's say like $3,000. Took away $15,000 off my credit limit, bro. I lost almost, I think it was like 100 points or like 80
points. Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like if like you ever needed like a loan for something for like 10 G's? You get a loan for 10 G's and then you bank transfer it to your credit card for 0% APR for the first like 18 months. You don't pay any interest on that bitch for 18 months. You know how much money you save on that? Dog, you know I did that a couple of times.
That's a smart move.
I would have
do the what is it, the debt transfer, right?
They call it a balance transfer. Yeah, they call it balance transfer. So
it's a nice way to say debt transfer.
my balance transfer on one card was like a certain percentage, and then Chase Bank was like, "Hey, you have a credit card with us. We'll give you 0% APR for the first think it was 18 months at the time.
Is that always like it's always 18 months, 0%? Or
No.
just for
It
that
could be
time frame?
12 months. It could be whatever promotion they're running. 12 months, 18 months.
Okay, so it was a promotion. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's
So
not
they're
a
like,
card that
they're like, you've been a good customer of us. We'll give you 0% APR on a balance transfer for the first 18 months. Bro, I moved that money over. I think that saved me just in interest alone. Saved me like
probably
had to be
6 to 7 grand.
over like 6, 7, 8 grand just alone. And I paid that motherfucker off.
Yeah,
the 18th
that one you were
month,
like, I'm
the
making
18th month. I'm like, bam, bam, bam. They didn't get $1 extra out of me, bro. That's the best.
I would have
But that's knowing how to play the system.
I would have had it at like 15 months for math per payment because I would not play that game of like just in case they would be like, oh, your payment came in on the 2nd, but it was actually due on the 1st.
But once
we're going to hit you with all the interest. Now be like, bitch.
Yeah, but once you get to that 18th month, you only owe them like $500. So even if they hit you with the percentage, like okay, they got an extra $20 out of me. I just saved thousands.
I thought whenever companies do that, they bring it all back.
No, you don't. You pay on whatever's left. If once the 18 months is done, you go at a percentage. Let's say it's like 20%, but it's just what's left there. It's not off. Yeah, no, they're not going to charge you 20% of.
I thought it was the
no. It's whatever's left there.
I thought that was the big. So usually the big issue is just because people aren't paying it off. Then
no, it's because people are lazy and they're like, I'll get to it at some point. I have 18 months. I'll pay
that
it
stuff.
off.
Nope.
And then they don't.
Nope.
And then next thing you know, 18 months goes by, and then they get hit with the high percentage because whatever you charge on that card after let's say you pay everything off, right? And it's all done. You paid off the 0% APR. Whenever you make new purchases, it goes to the regular rate. But once that 18 months ends, whatever's left goes to the higher rate.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where they hit you. They'll give you 0%, but instead of paying
like 22%.
yeah, you're gonna probably 26, 27. You're gonna get hit with a high percentage.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I know Care Credit does that though, but they let you know. It's like, hey, you have like, it depends on what you buy and what they agree to. But sometimes they'll be like, oh, you have 12 months, you have 18 months. Like I've had one that was 24 months when it was a really big charge, but we've been with them for a while. Yeah. And so like whenever we take the dogs for medical care or if I get like dental cleanings or something, and that's what I'll do is I saw it, it's 0%. And there was 1 month I almost missed it. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because I didn't realize I paid it, but I didn't realize that I miscalculated. There was one more month and I was looking at it and the month was coming and it would have slapped it all on. And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, let me play that. Yeah, no.
One thing I don't fuck around with is like finances. Like I plan for the worst every month. I think that's what helps me a lot too is because like the Tennessee properties, it's not always the same amount we get every month from the rent, depending on
how many people you have.
And shit like that. And if there's any repairs that are needed. So I always go off what the lowest I ever made from the property is.
100%.
And then everything else is gravy. Yeah. So like I'm always like, bro, the Tennessee property where I'm budgeting, I'm like, it's only gonna give me $1,000 this month. And I just plan for that.
So anything
else is just we made $3 grand this month. Perfect. Extra $2 grand to like throw out whatever. Yeah. So that's the way to do it. Always plan for the worst and you'll be good. Whatever the saying is.
So the saying, because I used to say I was like, I hope for the best, but I expect the worst. And then I went to therapy one time.
What was the saying?
The saying is, I hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Prepare for the worst.
So that's what
prepare that you're always going to have your lowest
I used to say,
monthly cash flow income.
You shouldn't do that. It should be prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
So hope for the best, prepare for the worst, guys. That'll be the best thing for you.
Lowest.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Take it easy, guys. Perfect.